Hi. What did you think BodyBright was when you first started? When I invited you?
I knew it would change some like behaviors possibly, but I don't know. I kind of thought it was just like another health course. I thought it was going to be geared for me specifically on like why I don't like going to the gym.
Okay, so we're halfway through, a little bit over halfway through, and you've gone through a lot. And you said something to me just yesterday that I was like, if I could get that on camera, that would be amazing. You said that when you woke up, can you talk about what you felt when you woke up yesterday?
Yeah, when I wake up every morning since probably week 2 of this, I'm just aware. I've heard people say like listen to your body, and like I get what that means, like when you're hungry. Like I understand that, but like yesterday, like I wake up and I can hear my body. It's telling me you need more sleep. You need to move. I am hurting some, and so I'm like, oh, I need to listen to that pain. It's telling me I need to do something. And so I don't think before BodyBright I took the time to actually slow down enough to listen to my body. I stayed in the busy.
So the first week, we went through an exercise called the Circle of Health
Mm-hmm.
or the Wellness Wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little bit about like awareness. Can you share what you got out of that and why it was so impactful for the rest of the weeks?
Yeah, I will say that the first week, I just didn't realize there was so much depth to this. And so I left the first week. I don't want to like discourage anyone, but I left like it was heavy. I left and cried the whole way home. I just didn't realize how much of one that there's a wellness wheel. Basically, there's way more. I was thinking wellness was just like food and exercise. If you asked, like I wasn't thinking of a complete wheel and really looking at every single area and how I pour into certain areas and they look great, but I don't take the time to look at the other areas. And to drive on a wheel, you really do have to balance those. They don't have to be perfect, but they need to be somewhat balanced. And so it helps you to recognize after that first week, recognizing areas that probably I just shoved down because I could control other areas and make them great. But then, like, I'm just hobbling along. So when I left here, it just like, I feel like it exposed areas that maybe I wasn't like proud to share. But I think the only way to move forward and change those is to rip off those band-aids, expose those areas, and then just like take tiny little bites. I loved the tiny bites because it felt achievable. And I don't like going back to like trauma and kid stuff as a kid, but you just learn all these things, right? And we develop that way because of how we grew up and stuff. And so um, I felt I've been in a lot of different weight loss programs. And so for me, I felt like, oh, I don't want to fail at this. I want to be good at this. And so to expose the areas that like you don't feel successful in or confident, it goes right back to like, oh, I'm going to fail at this. So having those tiny bites gave me a chance to feel successful instead of feeling like it's all or nothing. So I felt like I had permission. I had permission week 1, like we were in the class, and like I talk all the time. I love to talk, but when it's specific questions, I feel like, is my answer good enough, or am I going to be wrong in this? Like I don't feel as confident. And so Deanna said the first day, she's like, there's no right or wrong answer. And so sometimes when I do speak out, I have to like remind myself, like, it's okay. Like maybe my answer does matter. Maybe it'll help somebody else, or maybe it'll help me.
Are you surprised at the vulnerability of the group?
Yes.
What has that given you? Hearing other people's struggles and other people's truth around their health journey.
I feel like it gives me permission to like know that everybody has a journey. Everybody has this. For me, weight loss has been a struggle my whole life, and I want to change that story. And I feel like I am changing that story, but I feel like everyone has like an inner fat person, just because the fat girl was me. But everybody has their own, like, it might be a different part of the wellness wheel, right? But they all have their own little inner fat person story. I don't know if that even makes sense. But that's what I always think. I'm like, everybody has a past. Everybody has a story, and sometimes you don't even realize what they're carrying, because on the outside they look like they have their shit together, and I'm like, wow, they feel that way too. And then I feel like, well, then I can share too, because I don't know, it is vulnerable, and you don't want people to make you feel, I don't know, it's just like sometimes it feels embarrassing to voice what your head is telling you. But I think there's power in it, and I think once you recognize it, like you can change it, and you can relate to other people and just be like, oh my gosh, they feel that way too. Like I'm not weird.
So in module 2, we did the tree exercise.
That was hard for me. It was hard for me to really get to the root of it, and I think it was me maybe fighting back of like, oh, I don't want to really see the depth of this. Again, I like to talk, but let's keep it like surface level. That seems safe. So then really digging down and having to realize that, I don't know, there was a blank space for all these roots, but I felt like mine like really does stem from like my worth and feeling like, why do I feel like I'm not worth it? Where did that come from? You know, and most of it came from right here, or a moment of when I was 10, when we did the activity, and it was like, you wouldn't allow a 10-year-old make your decisions. So why are you, and I say 10 because that was the age that like I think I really allowed my non-true thoughts to shape who I became, kind of. And then I'm like, why would I let that 10-year-old tell me that now? I wouldn't. So why do I continue to allow that? So I mean, I can like literally picture that now when I make some decisions. And I'm like, no, just because I didn't make the team when I was 10, or I somehow told myself I wasn't athletic at 10 years old, doesn't mean I can't go step into a gym now. But I've allowed that to almost be an excuse, but there's still truth to it. So I feel like this is a safe space to like let it out. And when I hear other people's stories, I'm thinking like, that sounds so silly. Like, not that their story's silly, but they're just like me, allowing a 10-year-old to shape these ongoing thoughts. And I hear it in other people, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing the same thing. So
yeah, and that's what community does. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing because it's a mirror to our own story.
Yeah.
We finally got to one of the topics that you thought we were going to talk about, which was nutrition.
Oh yeah.
With Trey.
Yeah.
What did you get? What was the like biggest takeaway from that class?
Probably that. Oh my gosh, so many takeaways. First off, he is like this famous chef, and he can make anything, and everything is fancy, and he can do anything with food. But the fact that he sees food as a way to fuel his body, as a medicine for his body, and so he keeps it so basic, even though he can go all crazy. So I was like, wow, that was just a different shift. And then really just knowing that like it's just food. Like, don't give it so much power. And I think even last week we discussed like boundaries around food, and I've gone from one extreme of like food is my drug of choice, it's what like makes me feel good, it never turns me down. Like I went from one extreme of like abusing my body with eating as much as possible to losing over 100 pounds, and now I have this control of food, and not really recognizing until last week that maybe that control, it's not the, what do we call it, the mature area, that I've kind of swung from one side all the way to the other to control it, and now I'm not really treating food as I should be treating it in my body. Like I need to see it. It's weird how all these modules really go together. Like they really do build on each other. They go back to that root and like build upon it. So I don't know how to describe it the right way, but I'm just like, when we get to a topic, it's like I pull from another one, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, I need to be specifically focused in this one little area again to make that whole wheel move in the right direction.
We have Heidi tonight.
I'm so excited. I mean, I feel bad because I've already like been introduced to her, and so it took 10 minutes of hearing her speak. And I was actually telling my accountability partner this morning, I didn't tell her anything, like I didn't want her to know anything. And so, but I was like, you're gonna love her. And for me, like my background, I'm a nurse. And so there's a fine line of someone that really can see your wellness, but have that medical background, because I do think there is a point that you need to go medically that medical route. I think that medicines are needed in certain areas, right? I'm not against that. But I also believe wholeheartedly in the knowing how to treat your body for food and exercise and nutrition and I mean all the things in the wellness wheel, right? And so I think that she has such a great way. I don't know, when she speaks, like she speaks on the whole body. And I like that. I like that she's not taking one area. Well, I don't know what she's going to say tonight, so I don't really know, but I'm so excited.
If, first of all, would you do it again?
Oh,
Knowing what you know now, knowing that it was going to be hard, knowing that you're going to go places that you don't necessarily want to go and that you've avoided going, would you do it again?
I would definitely do it again. And I feel like you have to keep doing this though. Like I don't think we can just finish, which is why I'm glad I have a notebook and I can go back and look at it all. But I feel like, I mean, you should be doing this all the time, or you're just going to forget about it. And then it's going to be another one of the classes that just sits in like a book that you read or whatever. So if you're not constantly like just those little tiny bites, because you have to, I don't know, you can't just stop after you're done.
I love that your vocabulary has changed. Even when I see you, you're using different words. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So if someone's considering taking BodyBright, what would you say to them?
I would say if you have done different classes or if you want improvement, if you want change, even if you're scared, like do it, but take it seriously. I think that when you show up and you do the work and you take the tiny bites and you listen, it's not going to be perfection, right? Like I'm not in the gym every day. I'm not eating, probably as clean as I could be, but I'm making little tiny steps towards that. And my goal is to have 2 girls that watch who I am so that they don't have to deal with as many issues, right? And so if I can just keep improving, they're going to keep watching me and they're going to see a mom that cared about herself enough to change. So that's kind of why I do it.
I forgot about the S.O.U.L goals. So you've been in goal setting exercises. You were in like major mindset growth.
Mm-hmm.
How is S.O.U.L goals? Sacred, ownable, uplifting, lasting. S.O.U.L setting goals different.
There was an emotion attached to it. So when you attach that, I think it's easier to change. I think the way you broke them down, so we did, what were they called?
Oh, simple.
Yes.
Stretch.
Yes.
And
I think being
sacred.
able to break them down into simple goals. Sometimes we just go for these like huge goals, like, oh, it's 2027. What's going to be your goal for this year? And I'm like, they're so big that it's like you never take a step to really get to it. I mean, you try to back it down because that's what they teach you, but it's just, I feel like the breaking down of like simple just made it easy. And then the fact that we literally broke it down for each of us and then we had to do it, I was kind of like, oh, there's accountability to this too. But I'm a person, like if it's on my checklist, I have to have it done. So like I had 2 weeks to get it done and I think I did it in 2 days because that's just me. I like his checklist. Maybe I should have set more of them.
How important is health to you and why?
As I've gotten older, I don't like to say that, I feel like what else do we have? I've had a lot of money. I've not had a lot of money. And I can tell you right now that a lot of people think it's the money that matters, but you have something with your health, that's all that matters. You can ask the wealthiest person in the world and they would do anything to help their health because you can't get that time back. So
anything else you'd add?
I would just say like invest in yourself. Like you don't have anything to lose. You have so much to gain. And I think that normally the people that do this are moms. Not always, right? Maybe they're friends, maybe they're whatever, but like how are you always going to be the best version of you? And if you really want to change things, like you have to invest in yourself. So don't be scared to do that. A lot of times we put ourselves way down at the bottom and that's like the wrong place. Put yourself at the top and it's amazing how you can change all the things that come behind that. So
thank you, Erin.
Thank you.